My name is Marcos. I'm 18 years old. I'm bald and overweight. I live with my father and stepmother. In a luxurious mansion in Alphaville, São Paulo, Marcela, a stunning 30-year-old blonde, always caught my attention. Every day I watched her out the window as she swam in the pool. Her sculptural body in provocative bikinis left me hypnotized. Her every move seemed choreographed to seduce me. I couldn't take my eyes off the kitchen. I watched them prepare meals. Marcela's every gesture was a silent invitation. She moved with sensual grace, and the delicious smells emanating from the pots only increased my desire. She noticed my presence and smiled, a smile that seemed to hold secrets. Her strong stares left me breathless, wondering what she really meant. When my father traveled for work, Marcela's provocations intensified. She wore shorter, tighter clothes. His accidental touches became more frequent. In those moments, the house felt like a silent battlefield, where every encounter was a losing battle for me. I knew I should resist, but her every smile and touch weakened my resolve. One night, while I was in the living room watching TV, Marcela approached and sat down next to me. Your closeness made my heart pound uncontrollably. She began discussing the desolation she experienced when my father was absent. Each word carried an implicit promise, urging me to rise and leave, but my legs refused to comply. In the thrall of her aura, Marcela's presence became a persistent thought in my mind. At times I envisioned her arranging the household, her natural grace transforming every chore into a captivating dance. She smiled at me over her shoulder, knowing exactly the effect it had on me. I was lost in a sea of conflicting emotions, trying to fight the growing desire I felt for her. One day, when we were alone, she asked me to help her fix something in her room. When I entered, Marcela was lying on the bed, pretending to be overly tired. She asked me to come closer. When I did, he held my hand. Her touch was hot and electrifying, and there was a wave of heat coursing through my body as she looked into my eyes with an intensity that took my breath away. As time passed, the tension between us increased. Marcelo found ways to always be close to me, making it clear that he wanted more than just sporty looks. I began to notice that she groomed, especially when we were alone. Her plunging necklines and short skirts were a constant torture, and I knew it would end up getting harder and harder to resist. One late afternoon we were in the pool. Marcelo entered the water and called me to swim with her. Reluctantly, I went in. She came closer, and our skins touched in the warm water. I could feel his body close to mine, and the proximity enveloped us in a bubble of desire. She whispered words in my ear that made me shudder and wish for more. That night, after dinner, Marcela suggested that we watch a movie together. We sat on the couch and she snuggled up next to me, putting her head on my shoulder. I smelled her perfume, and every move seemed designed to seduce me. When our eyes met, I knew there was no going back. The proximity and the temptation were irresistible. Finally, I couldn't resist anymore. On a stormy night, while the rain was pounding on the windows of the mansion, Marcela came to my room. She wore only a thin sweater that revealed more than it hid to say a word. She leaned over and kissed me, value of her body against mine, and the taste of her lips making me lose control. I gave myself completely to her. Our secret meetings became frequent. The Alphaville mansion was the scene of our passionate moments. Every corner of the house held memories of our kisses and caresses. Marcellus was an ardent lover, and I found myself more and more entangled in his spell. Guilt and desire mingled, creating a web of emotions from which I could not escape. One day, Marcela told me she was pregnant. Be shocked. Fearing the consequences, we decided to keep it a secret. My father, upon learning of the pregnancy, was surprised, as he was considered infertile. Doubt began to erode the peace of the house. I saw the confusion in his eyes, but he never suspected the truth. The secret of our betrayal was safe, at least for now. Over time, my father began to notice changes in Marcela's behavior. He suspected, but he had no proof. I did everything I could to avoid suspicion, but the guilt consumed me. Every time he mentioned the baby, I felt a tightness in my heart. I knew the truth could destroy our family, but my desire and love for Marcella was stronger. Marcella, in turn, seemed increasingly comfortable with the situation. She maintained the facade of a faithful wife, but our secret encounters continued. Pregnancy didn't diminish her desire for me. On the contrary, it seemed to increase the passion we shared. I was living a double life, torn between guilt and pleasure, fear and desire. In one of our meetings, Marcelo confided to me that he was happy with the baby and with the life we were building, even if it was in secret. She said she loved me and that everything would be worth it. Your words gave me a mixture of hope and fear. I wanted to believe that we could be happy together, but the shadow of truth hung over us. The baby was born, and my father was beaming with joy, not knowing the truth. Day by day, guilt intertwined with happiness, creating a cyclone of emotions. Marcella and I savored moments of serene joy, assured that our secret remained hidden, at least for now. However, the shadow of truth lingered, never entirely fading.